Welcome back to Buy or Buy. Today we're looking at the 2023 to 2026 Mercedes-AMG C63 SE Performance, the W206 generation, the first C63 in history without a V8 engine. Mercedes replaced the 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 from the previous C63 with a 2.0-liter four-cylinder plug-in hybrid. AMG enthusiasts had been losing their minds ever since. 671 combined horsepower from a 2.0-liter four-cylinder and an electric motor, plug-in hybrid, all-wheel drive, 4,817 pounds, 700 pounds heavier than the V8 it replaced, 85 grand new, 50 grand used 3 years later. Mercedes already announced the V8 is coming back.
So, who actually buys this thing? And what else are they looking at? Let's dive right into the buyer profile and the cross-shop.
The buyer profile for this W206 generation is honestly hyper-specific. We're talking about early adopter Mercedes loyalists who just absolutely could not wait 18 months for the V8 to return. You've also got your F1 tech believers, people absolutely fascinated by bleeding-edge hybrid engineering. Then there are the AMG fleet customers locked into predetermined corporate lease cycles. They basically just get whatever is new. And finally, you have your all-wheel drive performance sedan buyers who just want sheer speed and are completely indifferent to traditional engine character. Now look at the brutal reality of the cross-shop. Check out the exact used market pricing. Right now, for $52,000 to $65,000 on the used market, you can buy this four-cylinder flagship. Or, for $55,000 to $70,000, you could grab a BMW M3 G80 Competition X-Drive with a 503 horsepower twin-turbo inline-six that originally cost the exact same $85,000. You've got the Audi RS5 Sportback with its twin-turbo V6 right in that same used bracket. Want a manual? The Cadillac CT5e Blackwing offers a supercharged 6.2-liter V8 pushing 668 horsepower. And honestly, the absolute worst part for Mercedes? You have its own predecessor, the W206 C63 SV8, trading for $35,000 to $60,000. That is the car traditional buyers actually want. The cross-shop totally highlights the shift in identity for this chassis. Bottom line, it caters to a hyper-niche buyer valuing technology over traditional engine character. Okay, let's talk about the gems, because on paper, there are plenty. Let's rip right through this powertrain, because frankly, it is absurd. The longitudinally mounted M139L 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder is literally the most powerful four-cylinder in series production globally. Just the engine alone cranks out 469 horsepower. It uses this crazy F1-derived electric exhaust gas turbocharger that essentially eliminates traditional turbo lag entirely. Then, AMG bolted a permanent magnet synchronous electric motor right to the rear axle, producing 201 horsepower, feeding off a 6.1 kilowatt-hour high-voltage battery for instant torque fill. The combined output? A staggering 671 horsepower and 752 pound-feet of torque. And all of that complex tech delivers an incredible 3.3-second 0 to 60 time. That absolutely beats the M3 Competition X-Drive, and it destroys the old W205 C63S. You're getting 4-mode regenerative braking with F1-style energy recovery, AMG Performance 4MATIC Plus all-wheel drive complete with an actual drift mode, and 19 or 20-inch AMG forged wheels. Inside, it's packed with tech. AMG Performance seats, an 11.9-inch Portrait MBUX screen with AMG Track Pace, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, plus a super slick hybrid telemetry instrument cluster. Plus, you do still get genuine AMG heritage here. While the car itself is assembled at the Mercedes plant in Bremen, Germany, the M139L engine is hand-assembled in AMG Affalterbach following their strict one-man, one-engine philosophy. They literally stretched the front overhang by 50 millimeters just to fit all the massive cooling hardware in there, and they stamped the hood with the first-ever black AMG emblem, replacing the classic star and laurel. Add in the economic reality that you can now buy a barely used flagship AMG for over $30,000 off its original $85,050 MSRP, and the value proposition is kind of wild. It is an absolute technological tour de force. Bottom line, supercar acceleration delivered via the most complex F1-derived technology on the road. But now we have to talk about the issues. And oh boy, are there issues. Prepare to be visually shocked. The previous W205 C63 V8 weighed 3,994 pounds. This new W206 plug-in hybrid, 4,817 pounds. That is a massive 700-pound weight gain. And what do you get for carrying all that extra weight? A pathetic 3-mile EV-only range. Seriously. Worse, because you are hauling nearly 5,000 pounds of machine into corners, the AMG-specific brake pads wear exceptionally fast. You are looking at $1,200 to $2,500 per axle just to replace the brakes. Then we have the absolute financial catastrophe. Look at this resale timeline. The car launches in 2023 at $85,050. Fast forward 3 years to 2026, and used values have plummeted to $52,000. That is a 40 to 45% depreciation drop. Why? Well, it's driven by an active enthusiast boycott, fueled by universally documented leaks from outlets like Car and Driver, confirming that Mercedes is bringing the V8 back for 2026 or 2027. Nobody wants to catch this falling knife when the V8 is right around the corner. And if you are brave enough to hold this car out of warranty, the maintenance risks are astronomical. Pushing 469 horsepower out of a 2.0-liter block creates immense heat soak. If that M139L turbocharger fails, you're paying $2,000 to $5,000. If the 6.1 kilowatt-hour high-voltage battery suffers a fault, which, by the way, has been heavily documented on early 2023 cars, that is an $8,000 to $15,000 replacement. The F1-derived e-turbo actuator? That'll be $1,500 to $3,000. HVAC compressor failure? Another $1,500 to $3,000. The sheer complexity here is terrifying. And then there's the barrage of moderate and minor headaches. The immense electrical demands mean the 12-volt auxiliary battery only lasts 1.5 to 2 years, and that costs $400 to $700 to swap. You've got HID and LED headlight ballast failures running $400 to $800, AMG seat bolster and carbon weave wear, and 19 or 20-inch wheel curb rash requiring $200 to $400 refinishes. Early 2023 builds suffer from a 9-speed MCT transmission shutter and MBUX touchscreen freezes that require dealer software updates. Owners frequently report a noticeable whine from the rear electric motor under heavy load. Oh, and you absolutely must run premium 91 plus octane fuel, and despite being a hybrid, it gets a combined EPA rating of 21 mpg city, 27 highway because it weighs more than some SUVs. So, when you add up the staggering weight, the terrifying complexity, and the resale freefall, the conclusion is harsh. Bottom line, it is a depreciating anvil of astronomical maintenance risks and shattered brand loyalty. Which brings us to the final decision. Verdict: buy. The 2023 to 2026 Mercedes-AMG C63 SE Performance W206 is the first C63 in history without a V8, replacing the legendary M177 4.0-liter twin-turbo with a 2.0-liter four-cylinder plug-in hybrid that traditional AMG enthusiasts have actively boycotted. It carries a 700-pound weight penalty over the old C63 V8, it depreciates 40 to 45% in just 3 years, and Mercedes has confirmed the V8 is returning to the C63 and E63 for 2026 or 2027, per leaked sources, which actively kills the resale for these current cars even further. Yes, the F1-derived tech is an engineering triumph, and 671 combined horsepower is undeniably supercar quick, but the muscular character is completely gone, and buyers have clearly spoken with their wallets. Buy every single example of this car until the V8 return models actually launch. Maybe, just maybe, you grab a sub-30,000-mile Edition 1 at $55,000 or below, simply as a depreciation curiosity. Otherwise, buy nothing here. Wait 18 months for the V8 C63 to return.